living in, we're being asked to really kind of like lean in, to really pull upon who we are and also who we've always been. And I'm not just saying all that we've been within this life, all that we've ever been. It's if, you hear so many kind of people within the spiritual community talk about, we are born into these times. We've chosen to come. I think we've absolutely been born into a pivotal point in time, and I really kind of get a real strong sense of spirit say this often actually. We're not here to fear these times, we're here to shape them, and that shaping is all about remembering who we are and who we've always been. It's interesting. Every person I have spoken to in these last few weeks is experiencing huge, massive shifts. And I feel, deeply in my heart that is rooted into a collective expansion. Think about what Spirit's words were as we kind of opened up the space. Finding the courage to be all that we can be, all that we're designed to be, and all that we have been. We're not just the sum of this life, we're the sum of many, many, many lives. Some of you may know this story, but I remember when someone said to me, a lady asked me and she went, so how long have you been doing this and when did you learn it? And I remember Spirit laughing and chuckling as if to say, it's a ridiculous notion to think that we just learn this within this one life, and it's a case of in a way just allowing all of what's in there at a very, very deep soul level to re-emerge. And I think that absolutely is what we're living through. We're living through a time of us remembering and that emergence of all that we are and all that we have been. And that is going to serve us, each other, and the world around us. It's going to serve the planet and each other, because as Spirit have been saying recently, we are in between stories. The old story is no longer working. We're not actually birthed into a new story. We're in between stories. But, some people will go, what is that future story? And maybe it isn't about trying to find it. Maybe it's about realizing that it's living within us, and it's a case of living that new story. We will create a space in this live stream as well for you guys to drop some questions. We are going to pull some cards as well, and we're just going to feel into the energy of now. So I feel that we're in this collective expansion and this shift, and that is not said lightly. Spirit have been whispering recently and saying, it's like the cosmic furniture is being rearranged. It is literally being rearranged. It's being placed. It's a cosmic shift, placing people exactly where they need to be to play out the greatest version of themselves. For some of us, this will feel really expansive. And for others, it may feel as if they're being uprooted or even brutal. I think, it's that realigning. It's that old saying, isn't it? When things are falling apart, quite often they're falling into place. And I think that is that shuffling, that cosmic furniture being rearranged. And that is, a really kind of at times brutal, dynamic, just moving everything. It's a very, very powerful process. I think if you kind of feel into that, it's kind of asking us to be really honest to find that self-honesty and truth is key here. The courage, the courage, the courage to ask ourselves those bigger and deeper questions. And many of those threads that are running through that are anchored in relationships, anchored in endings, anchored in beginnings. And I think we're going to see a huge amount of magical serendipity in this year. Huge amount of serendipity is going to take hold this year, where there's going to be some really deep, soulful meetings, house moves, and at times embracing that collapse of what no longer serves us. And that's what's going on in the world. You know, every institution, every organization of authority is in collapse. And it's not a case of if, it is a case of when. The whole lot of it is absolutely going over. Wherever we look, we are seeing it.